Almost Cooking with Gas, Ben Lawrence.
Paul Goody.
Hey, buddy.
Wasn't going to try to
Sir,
match it.
I have just bit the inside of my cheek, but that's fine. I apologize to you. I am once again, this time 20 minutes late to a podcast that I apparently care about. I apologize most wholeheartedly.
We're even on the regular day too. I mean, I
We're on the
don't want to
regular
get in
day.
the I don't want to get into the habit of like reminding you, but maybe I
Yeah.
should.
Yeah, no. The problem is that I get my routine interrupted, and all bets are off. All of a sudden, it doesn't matter what day it is. Betty got her ears pierced today at a tattoo place.
Is this the first ear piercing?
Yep, first time.
I had no idea.
And so then after the tattoos, we were and it's good too because
After the tattoos.
Jennifer, I was like, we should go to get you that rice milk that you wanted. She's like, no, let's just go really quick to Walgreens. And so if we had done what I wanted, I would have been like super late. And because we did what she wanted, we were not as late. And that's just the way things work out.
Well, if you'd have been super late, then I would have said, "Hey, let's screw today and do it some other time."
Yep. And I'm glad that we're getting it done. Hey, Ben.
Getting it out of the way.
Ben, gonna guess the news real quick?
Sure.
Okay. Ben, what has Microsoft done recently that is of supreme interest to me because of the thing I'm obsessed with at the moment?
You are obsessed with the AI art generator Midjourney. Am I on the right track?
You are on the right track. Watch yourself because you're about to go down the wrong path, perhaps. But you are very warm.
Microsoft I have not heard this, so I'm just guessing out of the blue. I'm guessing one of two things. Thing number one is Microsoft is considering either buying or suing Midjourney.
No to both of those. But
Microsoft
again, so close.
Let's
hear number two.
Microsoft is considering creating their own AI art generator.
Ooh, so close, so close. You're getting super close.
Microsoft is buying another AI art generating platform.
I'm going to give it to you. So Midjourney has one real competitor in the AI art generating market, and that is a little company called OpenAI. Maybe you've heard of them. They do stuff besides AI generate. I mean, they do a whole bunch of AI stuff. But they have a product called DALL-E, DALL-E.
I have heard of DALL-E.
Microsoft has entered into an agreement with them. They are going to be using DALL-E for the product Microsoft Designer.
Designer.
They're also going to be putting it into Bing, the search engine. Which means that this is just, I mean, I know they're putting it in Bing, the search engine. This is me talking about how I figure it's going to work. If you search for images, as an example, I used dog in cowboy hat. It will pull up not just photos from the web of a dog in a cowboy hat, but it will also serve up images made by DALL-E of dogs in cowboy hats that you will be able to use alongside all the other ones. Making, as one article put it, I don't know who, AI art is now the new clip art. I suggest that in general, AI art was serving the niche that clip art does serve. It's good enough art for the thing that most people want to do. Like I said, I use it for my D&D stuff.
So we're gonna
Um,
find it on newsletters published by the kindergarten
yep,
teacher.
yep, exactly. But the thing is that unless they do something really wacky or odd, the pictures are going to be better and more varied. And you're going to go, wow, that was made by AI. That's crazy. That sort of thing.
Yeah.
Um, I have come full circle, and there's one particular user on the Midjourney forums that's made me hate art. And I've decided that art is now bad.
All right,
And
let's hear that.
the reason is because I said, somebody asked, well, now with this, Microsoft buying or not buying, but Microsoft working with DALL-E, is this the death of Midjourney? Is Midjourney going to be done anymore? Because Midjourney, similar product.
You feel the
Um,
user base would transfer over to OpenAI?
or I mean, the idea is that many of the people who are using Midjourney right now may just stop paying the monthly subscription fee and just use the free version that comes with Bing or whatever for the things that they're doing.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And what I said was, I believe Midjourney is going to be around for a while. Midjourney, like if you listen to the office hours and David Holz, Holz, I don't know exactly how to pronounce his last name, but if you listen to him talk, Midjourney's current, the idea that the name Midjourney is synonymous with the tool that turns text into pictures is incorrect. Midjourney is the name of the lab that has created the tool, and Midjourney is going to continue to innovate and do new things and all that. So you're not paying for the right to, make sentences into pictures. You are paying for early access to the beta products that this, lab puts out. And they talk about sort of new stuff. So I wrote that, and then I wrote the, the thing that Midjourney has said during these office hours. They're like 4 hour long marathons where they talk about their process and what they're doing and what their new, iterations of the thing they're working on right now is going to be, what they hope to do in the future, so on and so forth. If you listen to that, they'll often say, I'm more interested in making cool stuff than I am in making money. We've only, scratched the surface. We're taking, hits on there was something like we're losing out like $200 a month on our $30 a month subscribers for the servers that they're using and all that. And it all kind of comes out in the wash, but it's, they're putting all of their profit back into it. So this person, who shall remain nameless, even though I know his name and I've looked at his galleries.
Oh, it's a he.
And all this. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Could you imagine, Ben? It's a 65-year-old white man, who says,
Who's got opinions?
So he takes the thing that says they're more interested in making cool stuff than making money. He writes, "Making cool stuff costs money!" ! And then talks to me about how innovations cost money and how everything I'm saying is dumb. And it's a neophyte's idea that he used a different word, and it was a fancy word that means novice, to think that having fun and making money is an exclusive,
mutually exclusive.
Mutually exclusive, and how he was in biomedical tech for 25 years and they had fun and made money, and I'm dumb and whatever.
It's a different mindset. I mean, and unfortunately, this person only thinks his exists.
And the thing that happened next is that he also was talking about how people that use AI art aren't real artists. and they shouldn't call themselves artists, and only like real art matters in his
They
galleries and
didn't go to
stuff.
art
And
school.
an idea that I also ascribed to and also argued for, and I have done a full 360 because I don't like this guy. He single-handedly killed my idea about what art is, simply because I don't enjoy the way that he treated me online. And that, my friends, is the middle-aged white man's prerogative on the internet. It
Yeah,
sucks.
you gotta just stop ascribing your emotional state to strangers, to jerks on the internet.
Well, Jennifer put it best. And she said, when you white dudes get to be a certain age, and she's talking about me and this guy, and this is the thing, the reason I dislike it so much is because I see myself in him, in his arguments, the way that he writes, the way that all of it is me, right? It's just that it's turned against me, so I don't like it.
He hate me
Um,
because he is me.
right, exactly. She says you get to be a certain age and you need all the attention. And that's exactly it, right? You go to this philosophy channel and you write, well, this is what I think is going to happen. Now, it turns out that the difference is I'm right more often than not when compared to him. But, that's only for right now. It'll change eventually. And I'll look back and I'll say, well, like, as an example, I said that Disney wasn't going to be using AI anytime soon. And I meant in their book publishing thing because, and I think I mentioned this last time, they don't have a stable of artists that are making books for them. People submit books to them and then make the books. So maybe those people will be using AI, but Disney isn't going to be employing them. And someone said, well, you're wrong. And they posted a thing about Disney using AI for their film stuff.
Yeah.
And I said, well, this is film stuff. I meant book stuff. And after I dealt with this guy, I thought back to that interaction. I'm like, I am bad also. Because how do I know? Oh, I wrote for Disney. Well, great. 6 years ago. What do you know now, old man? Nothing. Nothing. So I am hereby apologizing to everyone I've ever interacted with within the last,
2 centuries,
it's
two
only
decades.
been 2 months that I've been on this thing. But anyway, I'm trying to be better because people are nice and smart, and everybody has it turns out that I'm one of the older people on there. Although they did say that over 40 and under 30 on Midjourney are about neck and neck. The most of the users are like 33 on average. That's the average. But then you have gaps, and so it's really the guy again. David said that he's not sure, but he thinks it's the most diverse age range he's seen in an online community like this. And part of the thing that makes people mad is that you can't do swears or porny stuff and all that in your image searches.
Just making it somewhat less diverse.
Yeah, well, that's the idea. Is that he's like, we want to make this a safe place for
We want to make it a
for.
safe and inclusive place for everybody, so let's include porn.
No, that's the thing is that they took the porn out, right? That's
Yes, I
that's
am
the whole
aware
point.
of that.
They removed it from not just from their words, but they've actually in the next version they've removed it from their trained images. Did I mention that already?
Yeah, you've mentioned on a number of occasions, many occasions,
That
that
they've taken it out of their
you
picture set.
cannot search for it. They will not serve it
Oh,
to
no.
you.
No, but I mean that's what they are already doing right now, right?
Yeah.
The new thing is that in the image, because there's a huge image set, you can actually, Ben, go and say, look at haveibeentrained.com. Put the most famous picture of yourself that you can think of on the internet and see if you are in one of the training sets that they use for AI images. I am not, but When Elephant Met Giraffe is in it. So they have my images already.
Yeah, I don't know.
Um,
There's a
so
picture of me that's on the internet. That's probably the most famous picture of me, just from the
yeah.
film. It's just still
So
from the
yeah, you
film.
could just look up "Have I been trained?" and then put your picture, and it'll show you stuff that is used to. And if there's a match, the company that is running "Have I been trained?" will say, "Hey, do you want to opt in or opt out of being in training sets? Because we're doing a beta thing where they're going to try to get tools where you can decide. I have chosen to opt in. I find it interesting because, and here's the way I'm thinking about it: you're not going to be able to scrub your images off of these data sets. I mean, you can try,
It's like
but
deleting something from
eventually,
the internet. It's not going to happen.
exactly. But what I would love to see if I'm getting pinged on something, if someone is using my thing, it'd be interesting to see. So yeah, we'll see.
What your art may look like.
Yeah, or
Hey,
what
speak.
other people's art that uses me as an influence would look like.
Right, that's what I meant. Speaking of strangers on the internet, Drunk is with us today. He says,
Hey, drunk.
I know this is a future podcast, so have either y'all noticed grocery stores been a little light lately?
Hey, drunk. Do you mean light as in not a lot of people in them, or do you mean light like they're missing products?
I'm assuming it's light as in supply chain shortages, labor
Yeah, yeah,
shortages,
yeah. Because
shelves aren't as fully stocked as they normally are, and what is there is actually a lot more expensive than it used to be.
drunk and I are probably both of an accord in that we're using the same kind of supply chain for our grocery stores. Because drunk being in St. Louis, Schnucks, one of the largest independent grocery chains or family owned, however you want to look at it, which operates mostly in the St. Louis area. I have noticed that on occasion, it'll depend, but they have little signs now that say, "Hey, we only have this much of this stuff because of supply chain issues." Like they'll actually make a note about it.
There's apparently Chinook's whole chicken tender section was empty.
Yeah, exactly. Um, Drunk. I
It's a
had
shame.
a hard time for a while. Hey Jennifer, what was one of the things that we couldn't find anywhere in Schnucks? One of the products. Like for a while, just this one thing was missing. Do you remember what it was? Mac and cheese for a little
Mac and
bit.
cheese, really?
Uncrustables for a little bit.
I see that.
Wasn't there a soda, beef and flour every once in a while? I think I want to say like Pepsi for a little bit.
Yes, the small cans of Pepsi.
Yeah, small cans of Pepsi. We couldn't find the small cans of Pepsi anywhere.
Save a Lot and Aldi's, neither of them had fajita tortillas.
Yeah, it's just really weird. Some stuff is missing, and if we were in the 80s, the United States would use this as an example of how our economy is failing. But that's another story.
That's another.
There is,
Yeah.
it is
Scary
kind of
thing.
funny. People still do this. They're like, communism, it's bad. And then they show you're in a store and there's only one type of corn syrup, and it's all the government brand corn syrup. And it's like, yeah, but they've got it. There's, so
Government cheese is still cheese.
oh man, have we talked? We've talked. Okay,
We've talked
if you're
a
able,
lot
if you're
about that.
able to search the internet, look for government cheese. Ben and I talk about the different types and how when I was a kid there was this sort of woody government cheese, this weird kind of fibrous bark like government cheese that we had at my
That's interesting
my
because the government cheese that I tasted, which was at dinner one night, a friend of my mom's when I was a kid, was really super oily.
I didn't hear. Yeah, Ben said oily. What'd you say, Jennifer? Wait, what was it?
The American cheese thing. How it was because there was
It was
there was a flooded market of dairy products in the 50s.
Oh yeah.
So the
dairy market
was flooded
flood
and
in
so
1950s.
The American.
And so the
government
American government bought up.
We can hear her.
And what you have is it was all warehoused, and so the government cheese that you get is whatever was locally produced to you at the time. That's the government cheese that's there. So government cheese. There's government cheese that's like Colby. There's stuff that's like a really nice cheddar. There's stuff that's like American cheese. And there's stuff that's like weird Parmesan. So it all has to do with them buying all this stuff up. And then there was a food crisis in the 70s, and people were like, you have all of this shit warehouse. What the fuck? And so the government started
All right, time code that. You always, whenever Jennifer starts talking, you always should mark the time code just so that you know
120.
where. Yeah.
So that makes sense, and that explains why our government cheeses tasted differently, because we grew up in different geographic areas.
And I think as you have pointed out, Ben, there's another. What's that, Jennifer? LBJ's war on poverty. In fact,
LBJ's war on black people.
I think we have said the same sort of thing in a previous episode. Look it up, compare it, tell us if we're wrong. Oh, and also, what episode has this been?
347.
Let it be known, episode 347. If people are looking for just my audio on some old hard drive that they expect I was buried with, whatever, it is gone, nuked. This is akin to how in the BBC there are some tapes of Doctor Who that are missing because they were taped over. Episodes never to be seen again. We got rid of one of our computers and the hard drive was wiped. And on purpose, we did not save all of my audio because who needs 33 episodes of just my side of this conversation? Can you imagine?
Mid-Journey, once they get into that sort of thing.
They're not going to, I don't think they're going to do
AI art,
audio.
but AI podcasts.
Yeah, they've already stated that they're not that interested in doing audio stuff. It is interesting, like when they hint at stuff.
Sorry I brought it up. Did you ever make nachos with your government cheese? Asks
I
Drunk.
did not. We only had government cheese at school. I had tacos with our government cheese. I had cheese sandwiches with our government cheese, but it was all bad food. The food that I got at my grade school, which is Trinity Lutheran School in Edwardsville, Illinois, still in operation. Probably the food is better. I hated the food. And I will talk to anyone from the administration who's still alive, including my mom.
Your mom's an administrator?
My adopted mom, who is now retired, but was a school teacher there. She also had to eat the food, so I'm sure that she would probably describe it as not that bad, which is Midwest nice for, not very good. But yeah, I hated it when I was a kid. Are these might be Betty's earrings. Anyway, she got some earrings from her. So this is what happened. She got some earrings from her grandpa, Jennifer's dad, and she didn't have her ears pierced. And so she wanted to pierce her ears anyway. And she's like, well, now's the time. So we went and got it pierced at a tattoo place, which is the way to go.
Why is a tattoo parlor a good place to get your ears pierced as opposed to like one of those booths in the mall?
Like Claire's or whatever?
Yeah.
They care a little bit more about the aesthetics of the thing. And they know what they're doing. Because they do piercings all day long.
Not just ears.
Whereas at another place, you're mostly a retailer and also pierce people's ears when they come in for it.
And at some place like at a tattoo parlor, you got somebody who has that's their job, right? They work at a tattoo parlor. They've hopefully been trained to do this kind of thing. You get somebody at Claire's, I'm assuming it's going to be some like maybe a high schooler who's working for. Yeah, I think we're talking about.
hygiene.
Yeah.
We're saying the same thing. It's like some high school and a summer job.
Yeah, and Jennifer is saying, yeah, all the hygiene stuff that you're supposed to do and all that. Tattoo parlor people are already doing all that. Like you said, Ben, isn't it great? We're all saying yes. It's wonderful.
There's a tattoo place on my walk home that has it's open to the sidewalk via windows. You could just, as you're walking, just walk in and see somebody getting tatted. And still have no desire to get a tattoo.
Like I said, the tattoo that I got was for a prank, and I still love it.
For a prank?
Wait, you don't remember this?
You've probably told me this story at some
point.
I'm going to tell
20 years. First of all, Ben, do you know what my tattoo is?
I want to say it's like a pentagram or something.
Oh, you're so close.
It's a star of some sort.
It is the eye in the pyramid, Ben.
The eye in the pyramid.
The mark of the Illuminati.
Yes.
And the reason that I got it, I was in the United States Air Force. I had a roommate who was super into conspiracy theories, who would watch videos. Then I could not stop him. We were in a shared living space. Watch videos that are all about how the Mormons are actually Satanists, or people from India are trying to teach your children witchcraft and stuff like that. Just tons of, the far right kind of conspiracy theories sort of stuff circa the 1990s, the mid 1990s. And so I was on leave. I was at my college town, Columbia, Missouri, and my friend Tim Kern, who was just starting out as a tattoo artist at the time, which is insane because if you look up Tim Kern and tattoos now, he is amazing. And he's like, "Would you like a free tattoo?" And I was like,
I gotta have live people to practice on.
I don't know what I would. Oh, wait. Yes, I do. And so I asked for the eye in the pyramid, and I let it heal, kept my shirt on all the time, whatever. And then eventually, once it was healed, I waited until I knew he would be home. My roommate, back when I was back in the Air Force, I knew he would be home, and I walked out of the bathroom with my shirt off in a towel. He looked and said, "What's that on your arm?" And I looked him dead in the eyes and I said, "We've been watching you for some time now."
And how did he take to that?
He refused to come back to the room. I got the room to myself.
Good, yeah, that's a good way to get rid of a roommate.
Yeah. And later on, he got in trouble. I can't say that. That's the story. That's the story, Ben. After the story that I just told, something else happened, which I will tell you off the podcast.
Looking forward to it. But in the meantime, we have a request to see the tattoo.
Oh, okay. Well, let's see. All right. This is my tattoo. Now, Tim would be very, very upset. For
Definitely
me
looks like something from a newbie.
Because oh, no. It's actually very good. It's actually very good if you look at it. When I say he'd be upset if I showed you, it's not because of the quality. It's because it has not been retouched since I got it in the 90s. And he's been asking, every time I see him, he's like, "Please let me work on that." And I have not.
You can't go all George Lucas on my tattoo there, Tim.
Well, no, and that's not it either. It's that it is good to get your tattoos retouched. I, however, have been busy every time that he asked, and now we don't live in the same place anymore.
Ah, yeah.
For a while he lived in Seattle. So
is he still?
In fact,
here?
You might have either he lived in Seattle or he visited Seattle. No, he's not there anymore. I don't know where he lives now. Seattle, Portland, New York. He moved around. Chicago, maybe. See, okay, this is the hard part. He has a twin brother named James. And I thought, this is the other reason, I thought it would be cool to have James redo it or to touch it up, because then I would have had a tattoo from both of them, and it would have been the same tattoo, and it would have been kind of cool.
Worth more on the open market.
So, back and forth. But I haven't talked to either of them in a very long time. They're both very cool, though. I like them. So yeah. But that's so I still have it. Now every once in a while I will think, wait a second, am I in the Illuminati? Because maybe that's it. And this story is just a made up story that I tell so that people don't know that I actually got it in a ritual. But pretty sure that the story that I remember and tell is the correct one.
It's not the brainwashed, implanted memory they've given you to hide your identity.
Exactly. I mean, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Sometimes when a telemarketer calls me, when I get a cold call, or when a scam artist calls me and says that they need to look at my computer, I do the thing where I'm like, am I being activated? And they say, what? And I said, I was told that someone would call me and tell me that my computer needed to be fixed. And that was a sign that I was being activated and that we can start the mission. So I'm just clarifying, am I being activated? And then they'll say, well, no, I don't. I'm like, right, I shouldn't have asked. Okay. Keep your eye on the news. And then I hang up, that sort of thing.
I've never that's really funny. I've never gotten a cold call from anybody asking or telling me that there's a virus on my computer. And
really?
Yeah, never got one of those.
Here's one of the other ones I like. If we can, let's do a little role play. Your job is to get me to run a command on my computer. You're calling. Okay.
Is this Mr. Paul Good?
Yeah, that's me.
Hi, my name is Ben. I'm with the West Coast Digital Security Agency, and we've discovered that you have a virus on your computer. Were you aware that you had a virus on your computer?
On my computer?
Yes, on your computer.
I don't
Windows
have a
machine
computer. Do you mean Dave's computer?
There's a computer in the house that has a virus.
That's Dave's computer.
All right. Do you have access to Dave's computer? Is Dave home? First of all, do you have access
to
Dave's computer?
No, Dave isn't here. Oh, all yeah. Right. I'm not supposed to use Dave's computer.
Well, Dave might like this if you help him out, and I can tell you how to help him out. You don't even
I'd be helping Dave?
Yeah, you don't even need to tell Dave you did this. You can just do it, and it'll be our little secret.
I'll let Dave know. I'll let Dave know, because he doesn't want me touching his computer.
So I need you to get rid of this virus. I need you to run a command on Dave's computer. Do you know how to run a command on a computer?
Okay. No, I'm looking at the computer now.
Are you in front of the computer? Are you on the Windows home screen?
On the what?
Are you on the home screen? Are you on the desktop?
I'm at Dave's desk.
Is the computer on, sir?
Oh, no.
Can you turn the computer on for me, sir?
Okay, how do I do that? Let me move the mouse.
Do you know where the computer is? The actual computer box.
I'm in front of the computer.
You're in front of the monitor. It's attached to the box, the computer?
It's all one thing.
It's all one thing. So behind the monitor, there's a button or an indented circle that you just have to push to turn the computer on.
Okay. I've pushed the button. Ah! It's on. And then I just go through that. And then, of course, it's this.
How long? How long?
Why is there... They will stay on with a long time, and then they get really mad and they swear at you.
Oh, I forgot to do the whole, if we don't fix this, I'm going to have to pay a lot of money to my employer
Yeah.
because this is my problem. I need to fix this. My
Um,
family is hungry. My family can't afford to lose this money.
a couple of things will happen. The one thing I like is I find a video of me sleeping on Dave's computer. Another one is Dave has like illegal stuff on his computer, or
Well, that's how we got
you
the
know,
virus.
yeah, exactly. That's and then the other thing is, depending if it's not about computers, if it's about something else, well, I'll do it with computers too. Is that I am? This is one that I don't know why, but there's a character that I like to play where I am the foreman on a job site, like I work construction,
Yeah.
and none of the men respect me, and I'm trying to keep order on the site. And I'm not going to do it because I'm swearing, right?
Right.
Or
Yeah,
when I
yeah.
do it. But there's a guy who's joyriding on the forklift, and I keep apologizing, and then I'll turn away from the phone, and I'll just swear and everything, and say, I don't care who your dad is, you can't joyride on the forklift. I'm going to get in trouble for this. That sort of thing. So. And with stuff that we used to do when I was a kid, during prank calling times, before Star 69 and all that. Now you've
Yeah.
called me. You've called me, sir. It is not illegal for me to waste your time when you called me.
Right. I've seen
So.
a bunch of videos of people on who like are able to access the scammers' computers and like security systems.
That's
and,
fun.
Yeah, it's very cathartic. It's fun hearing all of the scammers just get so irritated.
Yeah, I also like the ones where it's a police officer who has been called.
Oh yeah.
Well, and the one time that it was somebody who was a news person who happened to be like doing a news thing on it, if that makes sense.
Just happened to be doing a news report on.
Well, I think what it
calls.
was is it happened to them, and they recorded it, and then they did their segment around it.
I don't know if I really want to like. I'd love to just like play with it. With a scammer like that, to just like string them on, that sort of thing. But that's my personal phone number. I don't want them to like mark it and be like, oh, this guy's an asshole.
Well, and the other thing is that you cannot underestimate the person on the other end of the line, because, in fact, I'm going to invoke Jennifer here for a second. Hey, Jennifer, what happened to me when I decided that I was smarter than the Scientologists and I was going to make fun of them to their faces?
Became a Scientologist.
I worked for the Scientologists for like a couple of months, and I actually had to join the Air Force
to get away from the Scientologists.
Well, not really to get away from the Scientologists, because here's the thing, Ben. The Scientologists, and if there are any Scientologists listening, I hope you will agree with me on this. Scientologists are, again, smart people, and they can recognize when me, at the time when I was, working for the Scientologists folding pamphlets, that I was not a great fit for their organization. Like I was not necessarily someone that you wanted around. I'm a lot better now. But I've stated this before, I'll state it again. If you are a bad person, if you are having tons of problems and you're hurting people and things like that, the things that the Scientologists can teach you and do to help fix you actually could be beneficial.
Tread carefully.
It's
you really
just
want to be pro Scientology on this podcast?
I'm not being pro Scientology. I am saying that how do I say it? That
I'm saying they're good people and they can help you.
Am I saying that?
You just said that.
I feel as though okay.
Even Edward agrees with me.
I believe that Scientology has helped people. Is Scientology right for everyone? Probably not. but I do believe that there are some people who have been helped by it. And I know that sounds crazy, but
Putting that in the show notes. Is Scientology for everybody? Leah Remini may have notes.
Yeah. So, well, and that's the thing, is that who are you going to believe? Me, a guy who folded pamphlets in St. Louis for the Church of Scientology, or someone who was raised in it and then left? I ask you.
I do have a close friend who is a child of Scientologists and spent their up to the age of 20 deep in the cult, and has just recently been able to feel safe renouncing Scientology. Apparently they don't like it when you do that.
Oh yeah. And let me be clear. When I say that they can help people, it's not people that they don't like. So and that was, I guess that would be one of the qualifiers, is that you would be in there, like you wouldn't leave.
Yeah,
I'm just saying that your quality of life could improve depending on what it was starting out. That's all I'm saying. But don't take my word for it.
Here, read this pamphlet.
No, don't take my word for it. Don't join Scientology. Unless you believe it's right for you. And why not ask a Scientologist if it's I'm sorry, Ben. I am the GudeLaurance. No matter what I say, no matter what Paul Goody says, the GudeLaurance podcast is not encouraging people to become Scientologists.
That's the name of this episode.
Harsh stance. We are not encouraging you to be a Scientologist.
You know how we like to be topical and in your face.
Yeah. What was my other really harsh stance? Donald Trump may not be the greatest president, I think is what I was on record as saying.
May not be the best president.
Perhaps fascism. Yeah, I think that's what it was. Stephen called me out because I said something to the effect of, perhaps fascism isn't the right ideology for most people. Something to that effect. I don't remember exactly what it is, but my live and let live is really something.
Sounds like something Stephen would call you out on.
Speaking about which, we are now in the midst of, voting times are happening pretty soon.
2022 midterm elections.
I have signed up for voting by mail, and people around here were surprised to discover that
it was possible.
Voting by mail is what normally is done in Washington State, that most people vote by mail.
Washington State, Oregon, Alaska, and maybe more at this point. But the last time I looked into it, it was those 3 states. And the reason, Colorado. And the reason I remember this is because one of our very first podcasts, we equated voting by mail to the states that also had legal recreational marijuana use.
Hey, yeah, because who's going to go there? So the interesting thing about all this is, of course, Debbie Ming Mendoza. That's our person who does voting stuff. Hey, Jennifer, what is the actual title?
Secretary of State.
Ming Mendoza?
County clerk.
County clerk. Our county clerk. So our county. This was an initiative that she started. And so one of the things that I had to do, and Ben, you'll be probably pleased to know, that I had to put in a party affiliation if I wanted to get all of my ballots by mail. And so I am now a Democrat, according to our...
Did you only have 2 choices, or was there an independent field as well?
There was not an independent if I wanted all of...
Really?
Yep. As we know, I stopped being a libertarian the moment Vermin Supreme lost the presidential primary for the Libertarians. And even then, I wasn't really a libertarian. I was I wonder if Vermin Supreme can get on the national stage guy. Turns out no.
I'm gonna read you this. There's this meme that's been going around. So that has gone around about libertarians and how all cats are libertarians. They're completely dependent on others, but fully convinced of their own independence.
That's nice. Although a cat can actually be independent if you got an outdoor cat. But the one other thing is that I really need to let our listeners know I'm now 50 years old. When I was in college, and I know this is going to be hard to believe, but it's absolutely true, being a libertarian was something different. The kind of joining of libertarianism with love of big business and deregulation in service of big business rather than in service of the individual was a shift that happened slowly but has completely happened. For a while, libertarian wasn't just Republican who smokes weed. Libertarian was, hey man, no laws, I'm crazy. It was the loony party.
That's not surprising because, the two major political parties have gone through a polar shift in the last 50 years. And so I'm not surprised that the ideology of another, particular political stance has shifted. This is a better description of the house cats as libertarians. They're convinced. Yeah. They're convinced. House cats. They're convinced of their fierce independence while utterly dependent on a system they don't appreciate or understand.
That's nice. I like it. So, and I wish I could remember the two. There are two different types of libertarians, and I don't remember the type. The two different types. They have names. They have names of, I think, people.
George,
like actual people, and their views of libertarianism. And the one that won out is the one that is, I'm not paying for roads. I don't care. That kind of. Thing. Everyone is always like, I'm not paying for roads, I don't care, but it's a different way of not caring. That's the only way I can describe.
There's a radical form of this, the name of which escapes me, but it's the people who don't recognize any sort of authority at all, like free citizens.
Anarchy?
Or something like that. Not anarchists.
Oh, geez. You're not talking about sovereign citizens, are you?
Sovereign citizens. I am talking about sovereign citizens.
Yeah, that is a great example of the difference, I think. No, actually, now that I think about it, I mean, Alex Jones. I know this sounds weird, but when the movie Waking Life came out, Alex Jones is in that film. And it's all about...
I have Alex Jones on a DVD in my closet?
Yeah, watch it again.
I don't want to
Alex
anymore.
Jones is in a movie that was like, hey, man, lucid dreaming is cool, and everyone
is a
cool person.
Try to turn on a light to see if you're awake or not.
Yeah, exactly. See, this is the thing, is that his... So you can actually chart libertarianism's, shift by just watching how his career shifted. It's the same sort of thing. Crazy. Anyway, so I'm a Democrat.
Congratulations.
And this is something that Jennifer pointed out to me, which, by the way, you can't see Jennifer because the camera is pointed towards the ceiling.
And we don't have permission.
But she is, and I think that she won't mind if I mention this, walking around perhaps naked in the living room.
Why would you tell us that?
Because I'm old and I have hot flash.
She's having a hot flash.
Is it that time already?
We're gonna be 50 this year, Ben.
Yeah.
Or in 2023.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are the
crazy
old people. We have lived.
For me, for menopause, it is very early that I've gone through menopause.
Jennifer has noted that she has gone through menopause early, though. So, get it out of the way is what I say.
Yeah.
So the big thing, that's right. So we've got about 10 minutes left. Do we want to hit up, are we going to make this a regular segment where we talk about our past performance art stuff?
I doubt it, but why not? You know?
Yeah.
I mean, there will be weeks, months where we just don't do it.
So anyway, the thing that I was going to point out is that in our neighborhood in Edwardsville, we have Democrat signs out in front of our house. Most of the signs are Democrat, and then occasionally you'll have like one Republican, people sign out. And it is very odd about how my brain just goes, oh, watch out for that one. Like it really is, tribalism happening inside my brain. I'm trying to be better.
I was in Sammamish yesterday filming an interview at somebody's house, and it's a nice, development. It's a suburb. The houses are huge, and it's out in the it's out past Redmond. It's the east side of the Puget Sound, and I was actually surprised at the lack of political signs that I saw. And I've come to realize there's probably an HOA that limits political signs and flags because there was none.
Absolutely, yeah.
Not even like a Black Lives Matter sign or everybody's welcome here or Trump or anything like that. Nothing.
Yeah, probably HOA.
It kind of felt like a movie set, honestly. How plain and terrible it was. Hey,
Ben, there's a TV show you should check out. It's actually a documentary called "Glitch in the Matrix." If you feel like you're living on this is the basic. Actually. This is the basic thing: is that the reason I mentioned it is because if those signs were not out in front of those folks' places, and I was just meeting with them and I was talking to them, whatever, I would have no such apprehension.
Yeah.
Right. Nothing in their demeanor, nothing in the way that they talk, anything like that, would put us at odds with one another, and I find that very interesting.
Right, because the sign tells you where they stand on certain issues, and these issues are in polar disagreement with your stance.
And certain issues that we would not talk about.
Yep.
If we were to meet and talk, because we have an HOA of the mind in the Midwest. Who's that?
Paul Goody, Brendan Healy just showed up. Hey, Brendan.
Brendan Healy.
Come over and say hello to Paul Goody.
Hey.
We're podcasting and live streaming, so do I have your consent to see you on my live stream?
Oh, no, I'll sue you for everything you're worth.
All right.
Hey,
I knew it. Hey,
buddy.
Hey.
There's Brendan
How's it
Healy.
going? Very excited to see you.
Oh, you can't. Here, listen to Paul.
I was just saying, it's really nice to see you. I haven't seen you in so long.
You're been looking ages.
Exactly the same as I last saw you.
I take that as an insult.
Pretty incredible.
Much less fat when you saw me last time.
I don't think so.
I want it noted. This fat was earned.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. You've God, I hate to say it. You've paid the iron price for that, sir.
And iron in terms of blood work, maybe high blood pressure. I don't know. There's something there.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Oh, one would think that maybe you're a writer, sir. How are things?
Many people disagree with you on that.
Hey, I'll fight them. Bring them over. So I assume that you're here for some sort of business, some sort of Explain, please tell.
I'll explain.
Everyone.
Annex and Steven and Ben were being really awesome and was letting Pony World Theater rehearse here for our next show. So that was fantastic and we really appreciate it. But we left all of our crap here for a couple of days. So we're coming in and we're stealing it to move it to another theater and where we'll pile our crap there. So, yeah.
So does Pony World Theater have a thing that people can go look at? Any sort of a presence? Let's talk about it.
Great professional question. It's like you're podcasting and you're broadcasting. You know what you're doing here. www.ponyworld.org. That's our website. We got a show that opens in 2 weeks from tomorrow. It is called Not Our Town. It is a crazy, delightful, mind-breaking experience for the artists involved. Because we're doing like a deconstructed take on Our Town, right? But tons of new material, tons of antithetical, or it would seem antithetical to Our Town material. And every night when the audience shows up, they take a live survey about several scene options and style options. And then when he votes, we do that version of the show that night. So there's literally thousands of possible combinations for the whole night.
Ben, you know me. This is Ben can't hear me.
This is
right up my alley. I wish I lived in Seattle so I could go see it. Is it streaming at all for anybody?
It is not, unfortunately. Yeah.
Hey, that's what we like about theater, though. The people who are
live.
here,
you gotta catch it. Yeah,
exactly.
It's ephemeral. You got to get what you can.
A different show every night. Come every night. Get used to being surprised by what the numbers
every
tell.
night is opening. Every night is closing. That's what it is.
I have a question for you. This is an odd question, but this is human directed, right? Are you a role playing game person at all? Have you played them in the past? That sort of thing.
A little bit. I don't want to pretend that I have done more or know more than I.
Because there's a thing called the dice tell the story, which is fun because you fail when at a critical moment or you win at a critical moment, and if you trust that the story that emerges is very nice and organic and things like that, but going off of the audience's survey, imagine the highs and lows of the people sitting there when the thing's coming up and they're trying to see, and then when it hits, that feeling.
There are definitely scenes that some of the actors are excited to do whenever they can, and there's some they're terrified of because they're so complicated. So they react, right? They are a living ensemble. So they're on stage when they get the survey results. They're not backstage. They're not waiting. They step on stage. We project it onto a screen live, and their reactions are genuine.
Man,
about what's going to happen to them.
I cannot stress this enough. I wish that I was there to see this. That sounds amazing. And I obviously break all the legs. Everything that I'm not supposed to say, I'm saying in the opposite way.
Thank you.
And
appreciate that.
Yeah, that's really awesome. I was going to talk about what we did.
We can let you go.
But instead, this is. I think this is a good thing to end it on. In fact, I'm going to tell Ben that when he gets the headphones on. So thank you so much for being here.
Ben's getting tired. He's holding the camera at a particular angle, and you can see how the blood is coming out of the fingers.
Nice.
So, and
what's
my stage manager is waiting for me. So.
Yeah, we can let you go.
And Brennan, Jennifer Pratt says that she misses you.
Oh, that's so sweet. Hi, Jennifer.
That's so sweet. Hi, Jennifer.
To Jennifer.
Miss your face, she says, just in that cadence. All right.
Big hellos to you both. Take care.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the chance to blab at you.
Oh yeah.
And I'm gonna go move some
awesome.
stuff.
Yeah. Do it.
All right.
Thanks, sir.
Take care.
Yeah.
Thanks, Brendan.
So I think that was a great diversion, and we're almost to the end of the show. I don't think that we necessarily need to do our thing this time. Let's talk about let's talk about that really quick. That was an awesome. That right there is one thing that I love about Annex. The fact that you gave a space for that show, because the show sounds awesome. It sounds like something I really would love to see. And no, unsolicited. We did not. No one asked us to talk about how cool Not Our Town is.
Oh, fuck. Really?
What?
I would love to have been in that show.
Yeah. Jennifer says that she would have loved to have been in that show. It's.
I don't know. They got it. There's 1,000 different variations, and so it's
1,000 different variations.
Definitely is an acting challenge.
Yeah.
Or maybe there's even more. I mean, Healy was telling me about it yesterday. Maybe there's like 30,000 variations or something like that. Is that right, Brendan? Technically?
Don't tell the actors.
I won't tell the actors.
19,000 plus.
19,000 plus different variations of the show.
That is amazing. Yeah, and that's the thing about numbers, Ben. They seem big, but if you break them down in the right way, they're very manageable.
And with that, I believe we're all done for today.
Yeah, speaking about very manageable, let's end this show as easy as pie.
Alrighty.
Just kiss the ground.
Yeah.
All right, Ben. It was great talking to you. I will talk to you again. I once again apologize for missing.
Don't let it happen again.
The beginning. Well, I if you were talking to the conductor, I would say it won't, but I should maybe try harder, and I will. Ben, I'll talk to you more later. There's something we were going to talk about afterwards, so stick around, and I don't remember what it was, so we'll
maybe
we'll find out.
All right. Well, until then, Paul, I implore you to keep it wrong.
Ben, keep